Erik Ten Hag has reacted to the first signing of Manchester United. He has given us the reason as to why he has gone ahead to sign that goalkeeper. But that's not the only thing that has gone hinted about. He has called more signings for Manchester United. He has talked about David De Gea and the plan of Erik Ten Hag for David De Gea, and why he has gone ahead to really have these three goalkeepers after the departure of Dubravka. Then he has hinted about the Anton Martial injury and whether he's available or not. That has all been part of the Erik Ten Hag pretty much press conference of the game United is going to be playing tomorrow against a team called Everton in the FA Cup. We have David De Gea, new deal. He has gone ahead and told us what he thinks about the new deal that United has put on his table, and him declaring that he wants to spend the rest of his career at Manchester United. What a way to be blessed with such a player of such a world-class level. And if at all you talk about as in the world of football, he needs to be at the club because he's the only player at the club right now, and Phil Jones, who last won the Premier League for Manchester United, a title that United has been chasing for the last 10 years. And in May, it's going to click 10 years or a decade ever since United lifted that trophy. So welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Rokan David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Now let's get into this as it's supposed to be started. Erik Ten Hag has gone ahead and really hinted about the new goalkeeper that United has gone ahead to sign on as Butland. Now we've signed him on loan. He has given his reasons, and this is one of them. But remember, I did a story today morning that the 1st January transfer signing of Erik Ten Hag is undergoing a medical at Carrington. And Ten Hag has confirmed to us that what Butland is bringing, he told us that I'm really happy with David De Gea. It's quite clear he's our number one. He's a really good performer, but there is always something that can happen with David as well, and you have to be prepared for that. Obviously, we have to be prepared for that, though the cameos we got from Dubravka were really threatening to some of us, and we are really threatened and asking ourselves, oh, which kind of player did we really sign from Newcastle, especially that game of Burnley? He almost did 2 mistakes that really costed United goals, and he would have been knocked out if at all that team was really a little bit clinical. Maybe their intensity and pressing really lacked a little bit, but if at all it was a very prolific team, would have found ourselves into a losing position, and that's what Ten Hag is really talking about the new goalkeeper. But I believe for Butland, he's really a more experienced goalkeeper, 29 years of age, but around 2016-2017 was in the Premier League goalkeeper for Stoke City, and this season he has gone ahead to represent for Crystal Palace 9 times in the Premier League. I believe he has the experience that is really worth and required to go ahead and really put everything into the best order. One thing I've not mastered about him, or really watched about him, is his footwork. That's it, and his ball distribution. But I think very soon we'll see him in goal of United, either on Monday against Charlton, or maybe when we go through to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. But let's wait and see how United is going to go on and really do that. That is Ten Hag talking about Butland. Obviously, he is already in. After that, Ten Hag told us that my last year at Ajax, I had a situation with the 3 goalies injured, and you don't want a position that you play for trophies. You don't want a position that you play for trophies, and you have to put in a young goalkeeper. You can't expect it and also kill your season. That's what you have to be prepared for. Meaning that the reason as to why he really clicks on really having like 4 goalkeepers is that in his last season at Ajax, Onana, Sklettenberg, and the other goalkeeper, the 3 goalkeepers of Ajax, all got injured, and he had to go in for another goalkeeper that is really younger, and that really affected him a lot because he was competing for the title, meaning that everything was in the hands of the goalkeeper, because however much you are a very good and elite side, you cannot stop your opponents from at least having 2-3 shots on target. And if at all you're not having a goalkeeper who can come in and save you from this situation, you might find yourself really conceding goals. Like the game we played against Bournemouth on, I think it was over the weekend. United, was it over the weekend? I think we played Bournemouth on Tuesday. David De Gea pulled 3 world-class saves. 3 world-class saves. And if at all it was not his being a world-class goalkeeper, we might have considered, might have either drawn that game or lost it, because if at all Bournemouth was attacking us to that level when they had no goal, what if one ball crossed the line? They would have really increased their intensity and their belief would have really multiplied by like 10, because they knew, all right, if at all the first one has gone in, then we can get a second one. So that's what Ten Hag is talking about, and he really needs to see to it that everything goes to that level. Now let's talk about David De Gea, the United goalkeeper, longest serving player at the club ever since Ronaldo, really, ever since, I think he has served more than Ronaldo, because Ronaldo came in 2003. He left after 6 years, and those are 7 years. Close to 7 years has been at Manchester United. But David De Gea, ever since 2011, when Edwin van der Sar retired, he has been here. He made a decade, I think, in 2021. Now, he is obviously into the first phase, or the first 2 years of his second decade of Manchester United, and is trying to really see to it that really spends the rest of his other decade at Manchester United. And I believe with his form and class, he might really find himself into that position at Manchester United. Now, David De Gea is due to sign a new deal on reduced terms after signaling his willingness to accept a cut to his salary of £375,000 a week to prolong his stay at Old Trafford. So, David De Gea, in his own words, he went ahead to let us know that, I hope so. I was saying, this is my club. I've been here many years. It's a huge honor to be here, and I'm so happy here. And he wants to finish his career at the club. Now, David De Gea hinted on finishing his career at Manchester United, and obviously, that is what we would love to see. And I know very many people coming out and really not giving De Gea the props that he deserves because of his world-classness. And I pity them sometimes, but I feel for them and don't blame a lot, because every person is entitled to his own opinion. All of us can't be loving the same thing. That's it. We can't idealize the same thing. We can't be beaming with joy on the same thing. You get? There is a clique of people that believe Dean Henderson should be the first choice goalkeeper of Manchester United. There is a clique of people believing that De Gea should be the starter. But the manager, Ten Hag, has proven to us that he really believes in David De Gea a lot. And when you look at that second goal we scored against Bournemouth, who starts that move? It's David De Gea. He gets that ball. They play a back pass to him. He does a return pass to... Was it a one-touch? I think he does a one-touch pass to Lindelof. Lindelof plays in Luke Shaw. Then Luke Shaw starts that movement from the left side. He cuts inside, and obviously is released. Was it by Rashford or Bruno? Then he makes that run, finds Bruno. Bruno finds Garnacho, and Garnacho does a cut back to Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw taps that ball in the back of the net. So that's how everything really went in through for a team called Manchester United. So that guy is really doing loads and loads of good things for the club of Manchester United. So Samuel Lucas is confirming to us that he wants to finish his career at Manchester United, and with his world-classness, I believe nothing is going to stop him, because he's turning into one of the best goalkeepers at the club. That is David De Gea for you. Now, for Erik Ten Hag, he has gone ahead and really confirmed to us that we always have to look for new signings. We have to push the players, and we also have to push the organization. We have to be ready in the market, meaning that he's really wanting more signings in January. One keeper is in. He needs a center forward. And realistically, we would have needed more like a right back, a midfielder, because Donny van Beek really got injured. Until now, the manager doesn't know the extent of the injury. What does that mean? It means that we are only left with Bruno Fernandes to play into that position. Maybe sometimes the manager can pull Eriksson into the Bruno position and play Scott McTominay and Casemiro, or Casemiro and Freddie. But obviously we need another midfielder if at all the money was there. But provided we don't have the money, we need to go on and operate on a limited budget. And what does that mean? It means that we have to go all out and really bring in a center forward only. Cody Gakpo went to Liverpool. He wanted to play for us. We didn't have the money. Are we going in for Yao Felix, Memphis Depay, Alvaro Morata, Vincent Abubakar, all Chepteng. Is it Chept something from Bayern Munich? Let's wait and see what is going to happen. But the manager has hinted on us going in the market hard because Chelsea is really having a very good presence in the market. Then we've been told by Craig Hope that Scott McTominay remains admirers within Newcastle, but message from United is they want to keep him at the club. Now, to me, I believe Scott McTominay is really is a good player and is improving a lot under Erik ten Hag. And he's one of those players that comes in through and I really say, is he going to be like a Dalian Fletcher? Is he going to be like an O'Shea for the club? Depending on what the manager really thinks about him. But the constant of all managers at Manchester United is they've loved Scott McTominay. Mourinho liked him. Solskjaer liked him. Ralf Rangnick liked him. Even Erik ten Hag is really liking him. But the reason as to why he no longer really plays is that there is a player that is really the best player in the world in playing that position that really is in. That is Casemiro. So I believe Casemiro has gone ahead to really revolutionize that midfield area of Manchester United, and I think we are no longer the same as we used to be. So as things stand, I really believe that Scott McTominay is going nowhere. United are not going to sell Scott McTominay because he has all the attributes of the Premier League. His physicality, and Ten Hag believes this player is going to go on and really become one of the best players in that area. He's improving him left, right, and center. Now, we had a worrying situation that really came in through from Samuel Lucas that scanning technicians were present at Carrington on Wednesday to assess Antoine Martial and Donny van de Beek. Martial was not spotted in training on Wednesday, although those who started against Bournemouth were due to have a recovery session. Now, for Donny van de Beek, we know he's out. We don't know for what period of time. But for Antoine Martial, it worries us a lot because he's the only centre forward we have. And we thought that he was really injured. And the scans really came in through. And guess what? It's only positive news. We've been confirmed that Martial is fit for tomorrow's game against Everton. And in his own words, Ten Hag has gone ahead to lead us to the following about Martial. He has told us that he's available versus Everton, but it's different. He came off versus Bournemouth, but he didn't play that much in the first half of the season, so we have to bring him slowly back into the 90 minutes. This is what people don't know about Antoine Martial. I think he's not yet sharp. He's lacking his sharpness, and you're not going to get your sharpness in just 3 or 4, 5 games because ever since Martial returned from injury, after that fallback when he scored a brace against Man City, Martial has not gone ahead. I think it was after that Everton game when he scored a brace. He never returned. But when he returned, he played 70 minutes against Aston Villa. We won by 4-2. He played 78 minutes against Fulham. We won it by 2-1. He played 70 minutes against Burnley. He played close to 62 minutes against Nottingham. Against Bournemouth, he played like 60-70. So it shows you that just 5 games in, he has not yet picked his sharpness. Even Rashford needed very many games to go on and really meet that tally of the number of goals. And Rashford has played close to 24 games this season. He's having 13 goals. You get, for Martial, he has 3 goals in the Premier League and he has 1 in the UEFA Europa League and 1 in the Carabao Cup. He's having just 5, meaning that in only 5 games that started, he has 5-6 goals, and his contribution is like 8 goal involvements in total. So it shows you that he just needs more playing time to really get sharp. But I believe it's something great to see that he's not injured, because I was worried when I read the story that he walked out of the pitch to go to the tunnel in the dressing room because he was really feeling a knock in him. But he has been assessed and everything is good and okay. So United is really signing one goalkeeper, and more signs have been called on by Erik ten Hag. Your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below. Thank you for really watching the United Matters channel. We are going to return in like 3 hours from now to let you know what is going to be like, because I want to return when I've gotten the result between Chelsea and Man City. As it stands, Chelsea have lost Raheem Sterling, but Aubameyang is on. Let's see how this game of football is going to unfold out. Sign out for now. See you later.